All right. Now, the first section of chapter 5 talks about prime numbers and composite numbers. So that's what we're going to talk about. Now, a lot of you are going to look at chapter 5 and you're going to say, golly, I know how to do prime and composite numbers. You'd be surprised at how many people don't. And they don't know how to do fractions because they don't know how to do prime factorization. So we're going to do that today. There's two types of numbers in our system. There is the prime numbers and the composite numbers. The prime numbers are what I like to call the ugly numbers. The ugly numbers are the ones that nobody wants to deal with. Why? Because they're only divisible by themselves and what? One. Good. Somebody read or somebody knew it. Now, by the time we get through with 5.1, this is what you're going to be thinking in terms of. Okay? Forget the composite numbers because they're not going to help you out. The composite numbers are the opposite of the ugly numbers, are the pretty numbers. They're the numbers that everybody wants to use. Okay? They're the ones that you go to. If I say divide, or if I say break up 54, the first thing y'all say is 6 times 9. Because those are the first numbers that you think of. Those are composite numbers. Okay, so those are the pretty numbers. That's the numbers that everybody likes to work with. And the last term that we're going to talk about today is called factor. Now, the term factor means to break up. Break up into its parts. Now, there's two types of factorization. There is prime factorization and composite factorization. Now, in 5.1, we're not going to worry about composite factorization. We're going to worry about prime factorization. Now, the reason we're going to worry about prime factorization is prime factorization will give you the common denominator in fractions. Now, one of my goals in this class is you may fail the class, but you will be able to add and subtract fractions. Because that is one thing, it's kind of like we got in the discussion this morning in 103. Name one thing in K through 12 that you never go over in math. And I asked them that and they go, of course, that's what they all say. Income taxes. And it's nothing new. When I was in K through 12, not one mention of income taxes. Anybody know why? Because when I teach you income taxes in 103, everybody's eyes are what? Opened. And they say, oh my God, you mean they take 25, 30% of my paycheck? Yeah. And then you open your eyes to this and you open your eyes to this. Why does the government not want you to know about income taxes? Exactly. They can't take your money. Keep you in the dark. Easier to control you. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do believe it's been done throughout our history. You keep people stupid, they're easier to what? Control. Now, you go all throughout our history in the United States, there's always been examples of keeping people stupid. And that's one thing, and I blame our school system because, you know, if you was to get out of the 12th grade knowing about income taxes and knowing about amortization and knowing about payments and knowing about interest, you would be a whole lot smarter when you go buy a car or you go buy a house and you decide what you're going to do with your income taxes. You'd be a whole lot smarter. But see, they don't want you to know that. They meaning whoever. Because think about it, that would be the number one thing to teach in high school. You should have one class on nothing but business math instead of strategies of success. You know, we call that parenting when I was growing up. Okay? But anyway, everybody should have to take a business class, which means business math, which means payments, interest, and income taxes, and budgets, and balancing your checkbook. Have nothing like that. But we have strategies for success, which is a glorified study hall. But anyway, factor by prime numbers. So if I give you the directions to factor 54, you will say 5 times or 6 times 9. Okay, that's normal. But if I tell you to do prime factorization of the 54, you would say 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. The prime factors, the prime numbers are 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and so on. The ugly numbers. The numbers that are only divisible by themselves in the end. Okay, notice 15 is not there. 15 is a composite number. It's divisible by 3, 5, 1, 15. 12. 12 is divisible by 2, 6, 3, 4, 1, and 12. So some of those numbers don't belong, like 4, 6, 8, 9, 12, or 10, 12, and so on. But again, we're not going to worry about these. We're going to worry about those right there. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. I want you to take your highlighter out. I want you to highlight. Remember when you learned your vowels? What's your vowels? And sometimes Y. A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. Okay? So I want you to start memorizing those 5 or 6 numbers. Because the next couple of screens, all we're going to be doing is factorizing in prime numbers. And these are test questions I'm fixing to show you. So, I'm going to show you how I teach it. Now, there's a reason I teach it this way. Okay? All right. There. I teach it this way because when we get to common denominators, you'll know how to do it. So I'm going to do 54, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. Now, 2 and 3 we usually go into all numbers. So you can start with either one. I'm going to start with 2. You don't have to start with 2. You can start with another number if you want to that'll go into it even. But I'm going to start with 2 because 2 is the easiest number to divide because it's easy for you to think in terms of halves. But I start with 2. 2 times 27. Now 2 will not go into 27. How do you know? Well, you know your divisibility rules. I do. Let's Google it so I can show you. Now you need to put in your notes, Google divisibility rules. So when you go home, you pull it up, you print it out, and you put it in your notebook. I'm not going to hold your hand. I'm not going to do it for you. Okay? You pull up Google or just type in divisibility. I suck. Divisibility rules. Look there. Hit images. Now that really took a lot of time. A lot of work. 2 clicks on the mouse and maybe, what, 30 seconds? There's one right here. Now you can write those down if you want to. I'll give you a minute to write them down. You need to memorize them. 2 things I've told you to memorize. What are they? The 5 or 6 prime numbers and these. So you might want to write them down. I'll give you a few minutes to write it down. Well, people aren't going to look through it. I got to put it in y'all's notebook. Now, how do you know that a number is divisible by 2? Well, that means that the last digit is even. Simple as that. How do you know that that the number is divisible by 3? Well, 3 and 9 are pretty much the same. Sum of digits divided by 3. If that's divisible, then like 2, 3, and 6. 236. Well, 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 is divisible by 3. Then that number is divisible by 3. Now, I showed this to class last semester. Class with 15 students in it. You know how many never seen it before? 12. 12 out of 15 students had never seen this before. Now, of course, out of those 12, you might as well say probably 6 or 8 of them probably have not seen it, and then there was probably 3 or 4 that had seen it, but they'd forgotten. But there were people in there that never seen it before. How do you know if they're divisible by 4? Well, if it's divisible by 2, chances are it's going to be divisible by 4. But I always divide by 2. I always divide by 2 or 3, period. I don't use the other numbers unless it's a 5 or a 0. Now, if it ends in 5 or 0, it's divisible by 5 or 10. Okay? The last number of 5 is not divisible by 10. But 5 and 10, if it ends in 5 or 0, it's divisible by 5. Or if it ends in 0, it's divisible by 10. So that helps. That helps out a lot. Okay? Ma'am? Well, yeah. But it's hard to teach common sense to people when they don't know it. I mean, some people have never seen this before. And it helps out tremendously when you're doing prime factorization, because these first 2 numbers are what? Prime. 2 and 3 are prime. You really don't want to, in 5 is prime. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. 7 is not divisible into too many things because it's so wacky. 7 is divisible into 7 and 77 and things like that. But 7 is a number that's just it's kind of like 13. Not many numbers are divisible by 13 and 7. So they don't even put 7 on here because there's no law for it. But anyway, let's go back to the drawing board. So, what goes into 27? Well, the first thing I think of is 3 times 9, 27. Okay, so I'm going to divide it by 3. Why can't I divide it by 9? 9 ain't up here. Duh. So 3. And what's 9 divisible by? 3 and 3. When you see that 1, that means, hey, I'm finished. So you take the handy dandy green highlighter, and you mark that 1 right there, and you say, hey, I'm finished. And when you mark that in green, the numbers in green is the prime factorization. So let's go in there. And after you do a couple of thousand of these, then you'll be ready to do the next step. Let's try 144. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 5, 6. All right, good work. All right, I'm going to divide by 2. Two will go into 14 7 times. 2 will go into 4 2 times. 2 again, 36. 2 again, 18. 2 again, 9. 3 and 3. 1. So this is your prime factorization. 2 to the 4th times 3 to the what? Try that. I want to see 3 movies this weekend. Rings, Bye Bye Man, and Split. I probably won't go see any of them. Still ain't got many horror fans in here. I got a friend, I said, you want to go say, hell to the no. Huh? You got what? You want to go see Split and what? Yeah, I done spent my movie tickets from Christmas. I had 2 or 3, but I done spent them. What? Yeah. Now, another reason I make people work in this section is because it helps you remember your division tables and your multiplication tables. I don't see anybody using a calculator, but you should not be using a calculator. There's only a couple of sections in this book that we use a calculator, and this ain't one of them. So, I'm going to start with 2. Why? Because it ends in 2. 2 will go in 5 2 times. That'll leave a 1 remainder in your head. That'll be 11. 2 will go into 11 5 times. That'll leave 1 remainder, 12, 6. Divide by 2 again, because it ends in 6. 2, go into 2 1 time, no remainder. 2 will go into 5 2 times with a 1 remainder. 1 with a 6 is 16. 2 will go into 16 8 times. It's even, so we will divide by 2 again. 2 will go into 12 6 times. 2 will go into 8 4 times. Divide by 2 again. 2 will go into 64 32 times. 2 will go into 32 16 times. 2 will go into 16 8 times. 2 will go into 8 4 times. 2 will go into 4 2 times. And 2 will go into 2 1 time. So 512 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 2 to the 9th power. The more you do these, the better off you'll be when we go over adding and subtracting fractions. Now, I'm not talking about adding 1/2 plus 2/4. I'm not talking about easy ones. I'm talking about complicated ones. Where when you go out in the real world and you need to add 1/5 plus 2/4, you can do it, or 3/4. Okay? That's one thing wrong with, again, our high schools. We got people coming out of high school, they can't even read a tape measure. Why? Because they don't know how to put fractions in their head. Because they rely on what? Calculator. Go to a restaurant, or fast food restaurant or restaurant, and let's say your bill is $5.57. Give them a $20 bill, and then let them ring it up and give them 7 cents and watch their head explode. Why? Because they can't do simple 3rd grade arithmetic. Simple. I do it all the time, and if they can't make changes, they just sit there. Then I say, well, you need to get your manager over here, because I'm not going to tell you how to do it. And then when the manager comes over there, I'm going to say, it's pretty bad when you got a person up here running the cash register that can't even do 3rd grade math. Because I think it's ridiculous to put a person on the cash register that can't do 3rd grade math. Would you do it if you owned a business? I wouldn't. That's like putting a psycho at the service desk. Yes, this won't fit. Bam! Or hit them upside the head with a bat. You don't put an unstable person at the service desk, and you don't put a person at the cash register that can't do 3rd grade math. But we got them out there. Let's do a nerd. Ready? Let's do 1,244. You might as well quit on this, because that's got 4 digits. That's too what? That's too difficult. Just quit. Ain't no sense in trying. One of them ice eaters. I can't stand to eat ice. Oh, I'm one of those people, I put all my stuff in the refrigerator, that way I don't have to use ice. I don't get ice at the restaurant with, I don't, that's what makes me mad when you go to Zaxby's and they fill the cup up with ice and you only get like that much liquid. So I tell them, I say, I want a large sweet tea with no ice. Or I want a large Coke with no ice. Can't stand it when you go to a restaurant and say, I want a large Coke with no ice, and they'll say, oh, we don't have Coke, we have Pepsi. Shut up! Ooh, I just want to... We don't have Coke, we have Pepsi products. You know something else that irritates me? People not knowing what side of the hallway to walk on. Huh? I don't understand it. Not here. Not at Walmart. Or they walk out the wrong door. That's what gets me. You go out this stairwell right here, and you go out the right door, and while they're coming in the left, and there'll be some DA standing in front of the door like, what are you doing? Oh. Nothing drives y'all crazy like that? Oh gosh. Well, that goes along with the self-esteem problem. Most people, most guys, most of the time it's guys that do it. Bald, short, not mentioning another. Y'all finished yet? You quit yet? You gonna quit? You gonna quit?
No, I'm still looking.
You're supposed to quit and give up. Heck, I don't know. I don't know. You will be after this class. All right. 2, 6. How many times will 2 go into 4? 2. And 2 will go in there. 2. Another 2. 3. 1. 1. Now, when you see a 1 right here, well, you're not done because 7 will give you 21. 7 times 3 will give you 21. 9 times 9, which is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, will give you 81. So there is 2 multiples with 81 and 21. You just got to see if it can fit. Okay? So 7 will go into 31. How many times? 4 times? And that'll leave a what? 28 by 31. Nope. So try 9. I can't try 9. 3 is about the only thing. You got a 13, there's a 3 there. So try that. 13 will go in here how many times? Twice. That'd be a 26. That'd be a 51. That's not going to help. 7 will go into 21, but we already tried that. 3. So you're done. So 3, 11, and that'd be a 1. So that'd be 2 to the second column times 311. Now, see if 311 is a prime number. Well, see if you can divide anything into it. The only number you can divide into 11 is 11. So 11 is the only number. 11 times 2 is 22, and that'll leave a what? 91? Nope. So you're done. So sometimes you might get a 2 or 3 digit number, but you need to be confident in it, in your ability, and not say, oh, that's not right. Well, look at it. I mean, 311 doesn't look too pretty. It doesn't look too attractive. It looks like yuck. And most of the time, your yuck numbers are going to be prime. Now, there's 2 words that you need to learn besides prime and factor. And that's the next section, not in chapter 5, but the next section in 5.1. So let's go to 5.1 book. And let me pull that up. 5.1, because I always get them mixed up. I don't pay too much attention to definitions. I make up my own definitions, and I I don't care too much for learning them. So sometimes I transpose them. There's our prime and composite. We already went over that. Prime and composite. Let me find the rules of divisibility. That's on page 206 for some of y'all. Trying to find the least common multiple and the greatest common divisor, because I always mix up. There we go. There we go, page 208. There's one of them. So highlight that or put 208 and put GCD. Is the largest number that divides every number in the set. Okay? So what is the GCD of 12 and 8? The greatest common divisor is the biggest number that will go into both numbers. Write that down. The GCD is the biggest number that will divide into your numbers, because you're going to be given two numbers, or two or three numbers. And you're trying, the GCD, that's the biggest number that will go into both the numbers that you're given. Now the other guy is called the least common multiple. And the least common multiple is the smallest number that your two numbers or numbers given will go into. So that's 208, and 209 will probably have the next one. There it is. The least common multiple is the smallest number that the two or three numbers that you're given will divide into. Now, it'll make better sense with you when I do the examples, because right now it's just a definition. But remember, the GCD is first. What comes first in the alphabet, G or L? G. G comes first, so GCD comes first. LCM comes last. It's one of those things I can never remember. I suck. Did you put that trash can there? Looks like somebody's going to throw up. But I mean, right there, because it usually is in the back of the room. That's unusual. Well, I didn't put it there. I've had a trash can beside my bed before. You know, that's one of those bad nights. Y'all wouldn't know anything about that, would you? No, I've had kids. That's what I was talking about. I'd do that with my son. When my son starts coughing at night, you better go get the 5-gallon bucket. Because when he starts coughing, that means he's sick. It's that little, and about the third or fourth set, you better have a bucket. But he hadn't got sick in a long time. That was when he was like 3 or 4 years old. Any of y'all got kids? None of y'all do it before, you don't? How old's yours?
9, 7, 25, 23.
I'm talking 3 or 4 less old. Oh, you just had yours. Okay, when he gets about 2 or 3 years old and he starts coughing at night, better watch out, because you fix to get projectile.
He reminded me of my granddaughters.
Okay. Yeah, I got on the farm. You buy a lot of hydraulic fluid because the hose busts. And you got to go buy hydraulic fluid, and they make 5-gallon buckets of hydraulic fluid. And those are the best things in the world. Once you clean them up, get the hydraulic oil out of them. You can use them for anything. You go buy Home Depot and they sell them for $5 or $10 a piece, and we get them. You know, we have bukus of them, and we make buckets out of them to use on the farm. Well, at my house, I got 2 or 3 that are extra clean that I use in the house, and that's one of their uses. Because you never know when somebody's going to drink a little bit too much, or you have a young one in the house that gets sick. A lot better than cleaning it up. Now that I've grossed everybody out, oh well, that just looked odd. Can't say it don't look odd. Oh, yeah, yeah. But there's a lot of women that don't get morning sickness. They don't. Oh, I thought you were talking about you.
I've been too John Bobby down and Peter on all one side.
I got peed on one time, then by an adult. I'm like, really? So they were so drunk? No, you need to lay off the sauce if you're going to do that. All right, here we go. 54 and 144. Now, some of you have never seen this before. Okay, you might have seen it with a tree, a factor tree, but that doesn't do good. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do it, and you write down things out beside it because there's two steps involved with this chart. One is called the greatest common divisor. So I'm going to divide by 2. 2 going to 54 27 times, and 2 are going to 144, what, 62 times, 72 times? Okay, what number goes into 27 and 72? 3. I think 3 will go in there. 9, and 3 will go in 7 twice, and then I'll leave 1 remainder, 12, 24. Will 3 or 2 go into both of these? 3 will go into both of them. That'll be 3 and what? 8. Gotta take a red marker and put a red line under here because guess what? The real math stops. Why? Why can't we go on further? And 2 will go into 8, but it won't go into what? 3. So you're at an impasse. What's an impasse? You ever seen Mad Max Fury Road? They blow up the rocks in the canyon and it falls down. They pass it. You need to lay off the Marlboro Reds. All right. I know, I'm just kidding. That's just something I said. Marlboro Reds. I'm just like lethal. All right. So the real math stops. You're at an impasse. When the real math stops, you have just found your greatest common divisor. Okay. 2 times 9 is what? 18. So you go over here and you're going to write it out because you need to understand what the greatest common divisor is. 18 is the biggest number that will divide into 54 and what? 144. That's what that is. So you need to write that down. You need to memorize what the greatest common divisor is. It's the biggest number that will divide into 54 and 144. Now, we're halfway done. Now I'm going to take, what's a good magic color? Magenta? Well, we got to use magic math. We'll use magenta. What's a good magic color? We got to use magic math now. Magic math is when you divide into 1, but you just bring the other one down. Okay? Got a question? What's the question? Ask. That's what I'm here for. I'm sorry, what? Take the 3 numbers, the greatest common divisor, take those 3 numbers and multiply. 9 times 2 is 18. Or 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. Or 3 times 6 is 18. However you want to do it. Now, with the magic math, my goal is to have all 1s on the bottom. That's my goal. Now, I'm going to have to do it separately because we don't have any numbers that will go into both 3 and 8, right? So I'm gonna have to do them separately. So what number you want to start with, 3 or the 8? 3, we all read left to right. So which one of those numbers will go into 3? 3, so I put a 3 here. And 3 will go into 3 one time, but 8, just what? Comes down. Because I can't divide 3 and 8. So just bring it down. That's the magic number. Okay, now what will go into 8? 2. So I put a 2 here. 2 won't go into 1, so what I do? Bring it down. 2 will go into 8 4 times. What will go into 4? 2. Bring the 1 down. 2. And 2 will go into 2. Hey, I got my what? I got my 1s. I'm done. Now I take this number, and that is my least common what? Least common multiple, which is later your common denominator. So, what is your least common multiple? My least common multiple is equal to, well, we got 18 up top. But I don't want to do that. I want to multiply my 2's because I want to try to do it easy. So 2 to the 4th power is going to be 8 times 2 is 16. 3 times 3 is 19. And then 3, that's another 20. I'm sorry, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So we got 27 times what? 27 times what? 16? Let's write it down right here. 27 times 16. Now there's an easy way to multiply this. You could use 25 times 16. You could use 20 times 16. You could use 25 times 15. I'm using common sense math, not drawing it out, doing it the longhand way. I'm going to do 20 times 16 plus 7 times 16. I'm going to do that. Now what's 20 times 16? 320, Hubert. That's right. Thank you, class. And 7 times 16 is what? 114? What is 7 times 6? 118. 42. I'm sorry, I messed up. 7 times 6 is 42. And then 7 times 1, so 1. So 4, what? 432? Now that's a harder one. Sometimes you can do it a little bit easier than that. I like to show people different ways of doing multiplication with big numbers. I don't like to say, okay, that's only 6 times 7 is 42, maybe 4, 2 times 6 is 12, maybe 144, put an X down, maybe 1 times 7 is 7, and 1 times 2 is 2, and then add up that number. That's a good way to do it, but I show other ways to do it, so you use whatever method you want to do. You could have used 25 times 16. That would have been hard. 20 times 16 is probably your easiest bet. Could you have done 30 times 16 and subtracted 3 times 16? Yes, you could have done that. That's another way to do it. 30 times 16. 30 times 16 would be 480. And 480 minus 48. 480 minus 48. That's what I get. Is that? I think it is. See, there's separate ways. That's called, now, if you really want to know what common core is, that's what common core is, common sense math. You take common things. Now, what they're doing now is not common core. I don't know. It's like somebody put a stick in somebody's head and it just blew up all over the place. Because I don't know what they're doing now. Common core math was essentially a few ideas to get an old way of doing long division and long addition and long subtraction to do it a common sense way, like I just showed you. 30 times 16 minus 3 times 16. That's common core. I don't know what they're doing now. I think it's going to drive crazy. Because there's some of the math I told my school, I got a 10-year-old that told her teacher, I said, you can teach this stuff to your blue in the face, but I'm going to teach what they're going to see in college. I'm not going to teach the stuff y'all teach because it's a joke. And she said, I know. But federal government knows more than states do. Now, what is the least common multiple? The least common multiple is the smallest number that 54 and 144 will what? Will divide into. Now that's very important because that's going to give us the least common multiple gives us the greatest common denominator or the least common denominator later on. Least, I can't spell, least common denominator in 5.2. In 5.2, yes. But you're not going to go to 5.2. You're going to work the thousands of problems I'm going to give you on 5.1. I'm going to give y'all one section of homework tonight, and y'all going to go home and try to do 5 sections, and you're going to email me and say you can't get to 5.2. No, you can't get to 5.2 because why? I haven't covered it yet. And you're going to eventually get to the point where you're going to say, well, you know what? I don't have to worry about 5.2 because he hasn't covered it yet. Instead of, oh, which of you. I better send him an email. All right, let's do an nerd. I'll do an easy one for y'all. I'll give y'all an easy one. Let's go with 12 and 36. Okay? Give me both the greatest common divisor and the least common multiple. What time's class over? 2:10? We're going to get out at 2. Because I'm going to go over another section until y'all get this section down. I'm going to take the trash can back to the back row. She's coughing again. Ms. Hamby, what high school did you go to? What's your daddy's name? Not the one I know. Not too many Hambies. My mama's people were from Belton. They were Shirley's. And not too many Hambies. Are you Honey Path or Belton? What about y'all live? I mean, y'all live in Triangle Community, Broadway. Where do y'all live in Belton? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah, you in Belton. You're right off the square. Yeah, I was raised in the Triangle community where Broadway School Road is. That's where, well, I wasn't raised there. I just spent a lot of time in Belton because my grandmother lived there. And that's how you know if this person was transplanted in Belton. They call it Belton. Where are you from? I'm from Belton. I'm from Pendleton. Go back where you come from. Williamstown. You ever heard those type people? They won't say Belton. They won't say Clemson. They'll say Clemson or Williamstown. Huh? McClure's. Where? What school? McClure's. I don't know where that is, but I grew up in the McLeese community. It trips me out how people move into your area that you're born and raised in, but they know more than you do. A little man come by one day, asked my daddy, I'll never forget that. I was out there raking hay, and my dad, he was baling, and I was pulling around, and we stopped to get something to drink or whatever, and my dad was sitting there, and this guy pulled into our field. Well, first of all, you don't do that. Okay? You pull to the side of the field. You don't pull your car into somebody's field or pasture. You don't do that. Anyway, he pulled in, got out of his truck, and he started talking, and he wasn't from around here. He was from up north. He wanted to buy hay from us. Well, my dad don't sell to the public because they bitch and moan and complain too much. So my dad never did sell anything to the public. And he said, no, we don't sell any hay. We keep it for ourselves, and we don't sell to the public. Okay, get in your car and go. He proceeded to tell us that we were cutting our hay too short. My father was a hothead, so my father just cranked up the tractor and kept on going. Didn't even acknowledge what he said. And then, of course, I didn't say nothing. I was only 15 or 16. I just cranked up my tractor and took off. He just looked at us, and he got in his truck. And he later bought him some cows. They all died. They did. He bought 10. About 8 of them died. And then he sold the last two. And then later on he moved because he couldn't make payments on his house. You know, somebody else lives there now that grew up in the community. So a lot of people like that. That'd be like me going up to New York and start telling people how to live in New York. And then people wonder why we don't like Yankees. Now, Yankees are okay. It's the damn Yankees that are. You know what the damn Yankees are, right? They're the ones that try to tell you how to do stuff, and then they won't take their book back up north. That's the damn Yankees. 2, 3, Yankees are okay. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. That's a joke. Ha ha. Ha ha. 11, 13. All right, 2. 2 going there 6 times. What's that? 18? 18. 2 will go in there 3 times. 2 will go in there 9 times. Okay, at that point, real math stops. So you take the handy dandy red pen out. Real math stops. Therefore, greatest common divisor is equal to 12. I'm sorry, what? You can't do 6. 6 is not up here. You just used a composite number. You just failed. That's why you're going to be living in the ditch, and you're Russian. So it's your fault. Damn Russian.
Gotta answer for everything.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I do. I like to hear Russians talk. All right, so now we're going to take our magic pen, especially that chick with the red fire canal over here. All right, so now we're going to divide by 3, and that's going to bring down, it's supposed to be magenta, hello. Ooh, that flashes. 3, that comes down, and 3 are going to 3 one time, so our least common multiple is equal to 3 times 12 is, that's all there is to it. Now, when you're doing the homework, you're going to see some with more than 2 numbers. So let's do one of those. What time is it? It's we got 7 minutes. Let me go to the homework and pick out one that's got several numbers. Or I'm just going to go to the handy dandy study plan because I don't like the homework sometimes. And I would highly suggest that you do the study plan after you do the homework because you need extra practice, especially with this section. Okay? Let's see if they throw a 3 number out there. 15, 18, 50 and 60, 72. There we go. There's one. But there's only one, I think, and you may not even have that one in your homework. Basically, you just write them in 3, 189, 1701, 2187, and then draw a big line and start dividing. We'll go over that one tomorrow. Do this one, 108 and 232. Tomorrow means next time y'all come to class. 108 and 232. 108 and 232. Two, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. So you're a Yankee, where are you from? Oh my gosh.
I moved here when I was 7.
You're from the state, you're from Illinois where they don't have no crime rate.
I've been here for
3,000 people have been killed the last 10 years and they don't have any crime rate.
I've lived here for 39 years. I was really raised.
So how old were you when you moved down? I don't know how. 7? So yeah, you don't count. Yeah, that's one place I wouldn't want to be living right now. And they have the, you know what's so interesting about Chicago? Is they have the highest gun laws in the nation. And they've got the highest crime rate. Yeah, a lot of people talk about how bad it is in South Carolina. People have no clue. You can't get me to leave South Carolina. You can't get me to leave the United States because the rest of the world is screwed up. That's why I think all high school graduates should spend 1 year in the military, mission field, Peace Corps, or Red Cross, or mission field. 1 year. And they have to serve in a third world country. They'll find out how good the whole United States is.
That's it, that's right.
What?
That's right, that's it.
Did you?
I got drunk the night boys and put on my outfit, so that's what they tell me.
Yeah, that's not good. That could cause problems.
Yeah.
All right, so let's divide by 2. I know to divide by 2 because they're both ending in what? Even numbers. So divide by 2 gives me a 54. 2 will go in there 1 time, 2 will go in there 1 time, leave it 12, 16. 2, 27. 2 will go in there 5 times, leave 1, that'll be 16, 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
I don't know if anything, 3 will go into 27, 9. 3, we don't have a 9. 3 won't go into 58. So we got real math what? Now let's check it. No, 3, 11. Nope. 7 won't go into 58. So the real math what? Real math stops. Real math stops. Therefore, greatest common divisor is equal to 4. Magenta, 3, going to be a 9, 58 comes down. 3, 3, 58. 3, 1, 58. 2, 1. 2 will go into 5 2 times, that'll leave 9. Guess what? 29 ain't no better. So 29, 1 and 1. Nothing will go into 29 because 29 is what? Prime. So 2 times 2 is 4. No, that's 8. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 8 times 27 times 29. Well, 8 quarters is what? $2, right? So 8 times 2 is 16, so that's going to be 216. Somebody check my math. Times 29. Now, of course, I'm going to use 30 here. So 30 times this is going to give us a 0, 8, 4, and 6. Somebody check that. Minus 216. I'm going to put it down here so I can do it. 4, 7, 2, 62, 74. Okay.
I get a regular math.
Okay. Well, what'd you get?
Like I said, I got 5264, but I may be wrong too.
Well, somebody check her. Check me. One of us is wrong. Probably me, because I did it in my head. Somebody multiply 8 times 27 by 29. What do you get?
6264.
Okay, 62, 64.
So we're back on.
Well, I see what I did. I didn't do the 7. Okay, 62, 64 is your least common multiple. That's fine. You can say that too. Lowest and least, same thing. So I'll type in 4 right here so I can feel good about myself. Fantastic. No, I got an excellent. And then least common multiple is 62, 64. Nice work. I feel good about myself. And you're done. That's how you do it. So let's see how many homework questions you got. No, that's not what I want. There it is. Assignments. I need to fix that so y'all will have assignment tonight. 5.1 homework. Settings for class. Go down right here. And today is the what? 23rd or 16th? Oh, I'm sorry. January. Today's the 19th. Huh? 18th. Oh, today's Wednesday. Dang, I got class tomorrow. 8 o'clock. And leave that open so all the hands fits. Save and sign. Now you go to the homework. After we have covered the material and hit assignments. Look there. After we covered the material, there's a homework section. 5.1. Now there's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 4 is 21. Now look at your study plan for 5.1. Grade book, chapter 5.1. Study plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 times 3 is 48, minus 1, 47. So if you do the homework and you want to do extra problems, you go over here and start picking some of these. This will not hurt you. It will not help you. It will help you in the long run. It's not going to help you grade-wise, but it'll help you with your grade in the long run because you got more problems to do. Okay? Question, gripe, complaint. All right, no questions. Y'all get out of here. Have a good weekend. Get 5.1 done. And that means what do we do when we get back? 5 point what?